Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Nick Butts Finance channel. And today I will be speaking to you about 5 passive income ideas. For those of you that are wondering, well, what is passive income? That's basically ways to earn money um, when you are not actually working. So, if you really want to get ahead, that is one of the best ways to do that is to figure out a way to earn money when you're sleeping. Um, Maybe it's something that you do a little bit of work up front and then you get paid indefinitely for that work, on into the future. So, time is money, and we all have a limited amount of time. So, to really get ahead, you have to find out um, some type of way to earn passive income. Whether that is uh, in addition to your job, or if uh, your job is to figure out ways to earn passive income, and you work on those ways up front and then earn that money on into the future. All right, let's jump into this. The first passive income stream that I would recommend, and many people get wealthy using this one, is real estate. Now, you might think, well, I don't have the money to get into real estate. That takes a lot of money up front. Well, that is true if you're trying to buy rental properties or some other type of properties and lease or rent those out to people. Um, yes, that takes a lot of money up front. But there's something else that the average person can do, and that's investing in REITs or real estate investment trusts, which are basically they're kind of like a stock. So you can invest in those the same way you would in the stock market, and you basically buy shares in the real estate investment trust. And the real estate investment trust is kind of like a company that goes out and actually they do all the buying of the real estate, and they receive money from their shareholders that they can use to invest in this physical real estate. And then they kind of pay their investors who buy their shares kind of like a rent in the form of dividends. And usually it's quarterly, so every 3 months you'll receive some money um, in the form of dividends. But some of them pay monthly, so it would be just like you are a landlord. So when you're buying actual real estate in the form of property, as your tenant pays into that real estate, you accumulate equity in your real estate. So let's say you're renting out a house to someone, and as they pay the rent and you pay your mortgage on it, you slowly own more and more of that. Well, a REIT could be similar to that, but on a smaller scale. You slowly buy shares, and you build those shares up over time. The more shares you have, the more your dividend payments are, the more you would receive in rent from the REIT. So basically, long story short, it's kind of like a stock. You buy shares of it and then you receive dividends, which is kind of like a little piece of the rent. And you can reinvest the dividends back, use what's called a DRIP, a dividend reinvestment program, where you just reinvest more and more of your dividends back into buying and accumulating more shares. So slowly over time, your quarterly or monthly dividend payments would grow bigger and bigger. And if you buy at a low price your shares of the REIT, it could go up, the actual value of each of your shares, and then you could gain some money that way as well. But of course, you know, do some research up front and make sure you buy a reputable REIT because some of them can be more risky than others. Okay, moving on from real estate. The next one, as we were talking about REITs being like a stock, well, that's what I would like to talk about next. The second passive income idea is to invest in the stock market. So, you do the research up front and figure out what company you're interested in, what might be a more reliable or safe stock to invest in, or if you're more risk tolerant, you may go with a riskier stock, thinking it could bring in a higher return. But basically, stocks are little pieces of the company that you invest in. So you own a little piece of that company, and many of them pay dividends as well, though not all stocks pay dividends. So you can research that as well and try and figure out a good company to invest in by buying their stock. So definitely another good way to earn passive income is investing in the stock market. All right, so the third passive income idea is safer. If you think stocks are too risky, you can go to your bank and just purchase a certificate of deposit. So these days, today is what, October 19th, 2023. Interest rates have been moving higher this year. And you should be able to get a certificate of deposit from your bank for at least 5%. So you can accumulate 5% interest per year or more, maybe if you can find a better one. But with a certificate of deposit, you usually have to buy that certificate for at least, you put your money in the certificate of deposit for at least 6 months, a year, 2 years, or longer, whatever you decide with your bank. And they hold that money. If you take it out earlier, there may be some type of penalty where you don't receive the full amount of interest when you take your money out early. So that's the only problem with a certificate of deposit, is that your money's kind of partially locked in there for a certain period of time. And if you don't like that idea, and you may need your money at any time or sooner than 6 months or longer, you could go with the fourth passive income idea, which is just a high interest savings account. So basically, shop around and you should be able to find maybe an online savings account and do some research. Make sure you find a decent one that pays more than what you normally receive, because the average bank, they probably are not giving you 1% if you're lucky of interest a year. So you may be able to find something that pays 2-3% or even more in a high interest savings account. So check that out. And the final passive income idea, number 5, is to just start a business. And this kind of covers everything. Now, for it to be passive income, you don't want to start a business like a restaurant where you have to manage it every day. Now, if you started the restaurant and then somebody else ran it for you, that could be considered passive income, I suppose. But there are many different ideas when it comes to starting a business in which you can earn passive income. So, possibly one example, start a vending machine company. I've seen a lot of information about this online where somebody purchases a vending machine. So you would need some money up front. You would have to figure out where to set up your vending machine, and then you may have to buy the supplies. So at first you would have some work up front to set up this vending machine idea. But if it grew well enough, you could hire other people in the future to run it for you, and then it would truly become passive. Maybe you would just have to check in from time to time and make sure things were running smoothly. Other ideas, you could start a business where if you're good at writing, write a book, especially digital information these days. You could write something all in a digital format and then try and sell that as a digital ebook on Amazon or somewhere similar. So there are many passive income ideas that you can figure out and put that into some type of business. Let's see, some other ideas. So we covered the vending machine business, something digital where you write like a book or something similar and try to sell that online. But before this video drags on too long, there are many other passive income ideas. Those are just a few to kind of get you thinking about this, because if you truly want to improve your finances and you're just not making enough, you have limited options. You have to cut back on your expenses, come up with a budget that helps you save money, but if that still doesn't do it, then you have to find a way to start a side hustle or something that brings in extra money. But because your time is limited, the best thing to do is figure out how to make passive income so you earn money 24 hours a day, even when you're sleeping. All right, well, I better end this video here. We covered 5 forms of passive income, which were, real estate, and I talked about the REIT, or real estate investment trust, because the average person can't afford to go out and just buy property, but they could invest in a real estate investment trust and have a little piece of real estate and receive rent or dividends quarterly or monthly from those real estate investment trusts. And then we covered number 2, stocks. So stocks can be a good idea for passive income, but you have to do some research up front and make sure you have a reliable company that you're investing in and that it's not too risky. So then we covered certificate of deposit, where you can set up a certificate of deposit at your bank, but that kind of locks your money in for a period of time. And so if you need your money before 6 months or at any given time, look for the 4th passive income stream, which is a high interest savings account. That way, if you're not sure what you want to do with your money, you could put it in the high interest savings account until you decide further. All right, and the final one was just to start a business that you set up in the beginning and then it earns passive income, whether it was a vending machine business or writing some type of digital information, or even YouTube is a great idea. You could do something online, YouTube, you set that up, and it takes quite a while. I've been doing YouTube this is my 2nd channel. If you notice the chessboard back that way behind me, I set up a chess channel, Nick Butts Chess, and that's been growing steadily. So you could potentially earn money on YouTube as well, but it does take some time up front. All right, thank you everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave comments or suggestions. Thank you and have a great day.